They leave, and the floor drops out of the world. You cannot eat, you cannot sleep, your chest physically aches, a tight, hollow pain right behind the breastbone, as if something has been torn out of you and the wound will not close. You replay every word. You reach for your phone 100 times a day. People tell you it is just a breakup, that you will get over it, that you need to move on. But the agony of losing someone you loved does not feel like a mood you can simply decide to drop. It feels like an injury, like withdrawal, like a part of your own body has gone missing. And that is not weakness, and it is not drama. It is one of the oldest alarms your body owns, screaming about a loss that for your ancestors could end everything. So why does heartbreak hurt in the body like a real wound? Here is what we are told about heartbreak. It is just a feeling. A mature person feels sad for a while and then recovers. The way a lost love can flatten you, kill your appetite, keep you awake, hollow you out for weeks is supposed to be something you outgrow. And if it still levels you, the problem is that you are too attached, too sensitive, too dependent on someone else. So we hide it. We pretend we are fine, that it was not that serious, that we are over it already. But look closely and that story falls apart. This pain is universal. Across every culture, in every era, the loss of a deeply loved partner produces the same brutal bodily anguish, the same loss of hunger and sleep, the same desperate ache to be near them again. A pain that powerful and that universal is not a personal weakness or a failure to keep your distance. It is built in, deliberately. And to understand why your body treats a breakup like a physical injury, you have to go back to a world where losing your partner was not just sad, but dangerous. For your ancestors, a mate was not a luxury or a romance. A mate was a survival partnership. Human children are born helpless and stay helpless for years, far longer than any other animal. And raising one to adulthood on the ancient plane was nearly impossible alone. Two bonded adults pooled everything. One foraged while the other watched the child. One hunted while the other gathered. Each guarding the other through sickness, danger, and the long, vulnerable years of rearing the young. To lose that partner was to lose half of the unit that kept you and your children alive. So evolution did something both cruel and clever. It made the bond itself feel like life, and its loss feel like dying, so that you would do everything in your power to hold on to it. The biological anthropologist Helen Fisher put heartbroken people, freshly rejected by someone they still loved, into a brain scanner and showed them photos of the one who had left. And the brain didn't light up like quiet sadness. It lit up in the regions of craving and reward, the same circuits that fire in drug addiction and physical pain. The brain of a rejected lover looks like the brain of someone in withdrawal, hunting for a fix. The ache you feel is not a metaphor. To the brain, the missing person is a missing necessity, and it is sounding the same alarm it would for hunger, for thirst, for a wound. Because for your ancestors, losing a mate was not so far from all three. And this is why love grips you so deeply in the first place, deeper than any decision you make. A pair bond is not just a feeling floating somewhere in the mind. It is a physical rewiring of the brain. The neuroscientists Larry Young and Thomas Insel, studying how mammals form lasting bonds, found that attachment is built by oxytocin and the brain's reward system working together, literally stitching one specific partner into the circuits that drive your deepest motivation and pleasure. Your person becomes wired into the machinery that makes you want anything at all. So when they are gone, that machinery does not just feel sad. It goes into true withdrawal, craving the source it was built around. And the despair has an even older root. The psychologist John Bowlby described what happens to any bonded creature torn from the one it is attached to. First, a frantic phase of protest, searching, calling out, refusing to accept the absence. Then a crushing phase of despair when the searching fails. You see it in a child separated from a parent, in animals that pair for life, and in yourself, reaching for the phone, rereading old messages, then collapsing into the hollow weeks that follow. The protest and the despair, the searching and the crash, are not signs that something is wrong with you. They are an ancient mammalian program, running exactly as designed, built to drag a separated pair back together, because for almost all of our history, staying together was how you survived. So if this alarm is so vital, why does it now torment us over losses we are supposed to simply walk away from? Because the world it guards has changed beyond recognition. Your attachment system evolved for a world of few, deep, lifelong bonds, where your partner was a fixed pillar of a survival you could not manage alone, and losing them genuinely endangered you and your children. Now you meet and bond and part with far more people across a lifetime than your ancestors ever could. You can fall for someone you have known for weeks, build the same deep wiring, and lose them just as fast. You carry a device that keeps their face, their words, their whole presence within reach long after they are gone, so the searching phase never finds its natural end. The ancient system cannot tell that you will eat tonight, sleep safe, and raise your children whether this particular person stays or not. It only knows that a bond it built its whole machinery around has been severed, and it responds the only way it has ever known how, as if your life depends on getting them back. This is what the modern agony of heartbreak really is, an ancient survival alarm built to hold a lifelong partnership together, firing now over bonds the world no longer requires for survival. The sleepless nights, the lost appetite, the obsessive replaying, the way you scroll through their photos like an addict chasing one more hit, the physical ache that no one warned you would feel so much like injury, none of it is weakness or melodrama. It is the attachment system designed to bind you to the one partner who kept you and your children alive, going into withdrawal in a world where it bonds fast, loses often, and is given no clean way to let go. And modern life sharpens every edge of it. A single message can deliver the loss in an instant. The whole archive of the relationship sits in your pocket, keeping the wound from closing. The endless replacements promised by a dating app pull at you before the old bond has even released. We are not too fragile for love. We are running an ancient, lifelong bonding system built for a handful of deep ties, inside a world that asks us to form them, break them, and recover from them again and again. So the next time a loss leaves you wrecked in a way that feels far out of proportion, do not be ashamed of the ache. Understand what it is telling you. That pain is one of the oldest and most honest things about you. A signal handed down from ancestors for whom a bonded partner was not a comfort but a lifeline, and whose loss truly could end everything. You did not invent the agony of losing someone you loved, and you do not fail by feeling it. You inherited it whole from a world where two people who held together survived, and two who came apart often did not, where the one beside you was the difference between raising your children and watching them fall. The breakup will not kill you now. Your life does not hang on getting them back. But the ancient alarm does not know that, and it is only doing what it has always done, pulling you toward the bond, because for 10,000 generations, holding on to the one you loved was how your kind stayed alive.